So what if an AI could spot cancer way before a doctor even suspects it? That is the incredible, breathtaking promise of the technology we're talking about today. AI is already a massive game changer in medicine, right? It's offering to detect diseases faster and more accurately than ever. But it also brings up a huge, and I mean critical question. And that's really the heart of the matter, isn't it? When someone's life is on the line, how much faith can you really put into a piece of software? How do we make absolutely sure an algorithm is ready to help make one of the most important diagnoses a person could ever get? You've got this incredible potential on one side. AI that can see patterns a human eye might just miss, catching cancer at its earliest and most treatable stages. But then, on the other side, there's the peril. A single flaw in the code or a data set that doesn't quite match the real-world population, well, that could lead to a totally catastrophic misdiagnosis. And look, this isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. AI and machine learning software are already being used in hospitals, becoming a really key part of an oncologist's toolkit. Think of it like a brilliant co-pilot, helping doctors sift through just mountains of data to make clearer, more confident calls. But because this tech is moving so fast and the stakes are literally life and death, governments are realizing, hey, we need to get involved. In India, the federal government decided it's time to stop treating this stuff like any other app and start regulating it for what it is, a critical medical device. It was time to write a new rulebook. So the problem we're facing is pretty clear. We have these super powerful, potentially life-saving AI tools being rolled out, but without any kind of unified set of rules to make sure they're safe, that they're reliable, and that they actually work for the people they're designed to help. And this is where the main player enters the story, the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, or CDSCO for short. These guys are India's top authority for all drugs and medical devices. If you want to bring any medical product to market in India, you have to go through them, and now that officially includes diagnostic AI. So how exactly is India taking on this huge challenge? Well, they're writing an entirely new rulebook for medical AI. And this thing fundamentally changes how these tools get from a computer lab into a real clinic. And this is the heart of it all. This is the single biggest change. All software that uses AI or machine learning to detect cancer is now officially a Class C medical device. Now, I know that sounds like some dry, bureaucratic jargon, but trust me, that classification is a huge, huge shift. So what does Class C actually mean? Well, it's a category for devices that are considered high-moderate risk. That means an error or a malfunction could cause serious harm to a patient. And to put that in perspective, this software is now in the same regulatory league as a pacemaker. Yeah, a pacemaker. That's how seriously they're taking this. This new classification means companies can't just, release their software anymore. They now have to follow a very strict 3-step process. First, they have to get a license from the CDSCO. Second, and this is crucial, they have to prove their software works specifically on data from the Indian population. And third, they have to run a formal clinical investigation to document how it performs in the real world. Okay, let's zoom in on that second step, the requirement to validate with Indian data, because this is where things get really interesting. It's probably the most important part of this whole new setup because it gets at a fundamental truth about AI. So why the intense focus on local Indian patient data? I mean, why can't a company just take an algorithm that works perfectly in, say, Germany or the United States and just plug it into a hospital in Mumbai? Well, the reason is simple, but it's everything. An AI is only as good as the data it's trained on. Different populations have different genetics, different lifestyles, different environments, all of which affects how a disease might show up on a medical scan. So an AI trained only on data from one part of the world can develop a really dangerous algorithmic bias, making it way less accurate for people somewhere else. This rule makes sure the tool is fine-tuned for the people it will actually serve, and that is how you build trust, both with doctors and, most importantly, with patients. So when you put all of these pieces together, what does it actually mean for the future of healthcare in India? It means the country is building a system to use the incredible power of AI, but with essential guardrails to protect people. And this new reality, it impacts everyone. For patients, it means you can have a lot more confidence that the tech helping with your diagnosis is safe and has been properly tested. For doctors, it means they get tools that are much more reliable. And for the AI companies, well, it definitely raises the bar. It gives them a clear path to get to market, but it also means it's going to be a tougher climb for smaller outfits to meet these new, tougher standards. And let's be really clear about this. This is a pioneering move. In a world that's rushing to throw AI at everything, India is deliberately hitting pause and saying, look, when it comes to health, patient safety has to come first. Period. It's a really powerful statement on how to manage a technology that holds so much promise, but also so much risk. So, India has drawn its line in the sand. But in a world where this technology doesn't care about borders, the real question is what happens next? Will other countries follow this blueprint? Or are we going to see a messy global patchwork of rules for one of the most powerful new tools in healthcare?